Okay, welcome everybody to the Hathor activation. This is our first one of 2021. We've been doing this for almost 18 months, which is amazing to me that it just continues on. But when you've got such great helpers such as the Hathors, who wants to stop? We just don't want to stop. Tonight's topic is about creating our new world with conscious intention. And it kind of, I've been waiting for this. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when it was going to make its appearance as a topic. But, everything's been leading up to this. We've been following our stepping stones. We've been talking about how, when do you move around them? When do you skip over them? Which ones do you ignore? That kind of thing. And so it just makes sense that we are here to really dive into what is it that we are creating for our world and the world, your personal world as well as the collective world. And so, for those of you that maybe haven't followed me for very long, you might not know this story, and I can't remember if I put it in one of the original Hathor recordings or if it was just on joytoourworld.space, which was it's a website that has channeled material that the Hathors had kind of hand-selected 12 of us to get together, and once a month we would meditate and share our information on the higher truths, higher consciousness topics that they had picked for us. So there are things like meditations and pictures and poetry and music and just all kinds of things on that site. And it's free. So joytoourworld.space if you're interested. But I think it might have been in there, I put in a recording about how in 2005, I was invited in my meditations to be a part of a group that was creating the foundational principles for the new earth. And the new earth is like a parallel planet to this, but it's more at the fourth and fifth dimension. So it's where we graduate to when we are complete here with this third dimension. It's where we ascend to, if you will. And of course, the fourth dimension is all about pure love. And the fifth is how do you embody and embrace your highest destiny from a state of pure love without even having to have a body. So, and then it just goes on from there. But this was being created, back in 2005. I suspect it was created before that, but for whatever reason, I was invited to be part of the foundational part of that. And our job as a group of meditators was to come up with what are the leading foundations that, like, what would be the guiding principles that would help beings to recognize if they were ready to move over to that place. And so one of the topics that we all agreed on was that any person, any being, needed to be higher self-driven. Now, what that means is that they're very tapped into their higher self or their, the higher power within them, and that they are guided by that on a daily basis. And that's what uh, is their defining force, if you will, is their higher self. Think of Spock on Trek, Star Trek, right? So he's very linear, but he's very matter of fact. He's very filled with truth. He's very organized. It's all higher stuff with him, but there isn't necessarily a field of love around him. So we also decided that unconditional love was something that uh, beings needed to be able to embody and embrace in order to be able to inhabit this new earth. So those two things became our guiding principles. Now, a couple of years ago when I was doing a workshop, it was the first time I'd ever talked about this in public. And so I was sharing it with a group, and the group started suggesting other things that they felt were important because they said, we're in a different place now. Even from 2005, the world's in a different place. And certainly now in 2021, the world's in a different place. And we have different needs, and we're looking for some different things. Now, maybe that's from a third dimensional process, but maybe not, because they brought up things like the importance of community, being able to be a part of a supporting community, giving and receiving, and the importance of that. They talked about truth, which is huge right now because nobody feels like anybody's getting anything that is pure truth unless you're completely just tapped into source energy and not sidetracked by either mainstream news or the other kind of news. So truth became a very important point. And I'm sure that you'll find some other high consciousness phrases that appeal to you that are very important to you, both for your world and the new world. And it's also possible that you might even narrow your focus because these are pretty big, broad topics, and they can go off in a lot of different directions. So you may even find yourself narrowing your focus in terms of what is it that you're creating and, find things that are more defined for you, for where you are going, for your highest destiny. So I bring all this up because it just kind of gives you some big picture thoughts as well as, chunking down into tinier details as you are working today with your Hathor helpers to create your new reality for your world and the world. What is most important to you? What would be most instrumental for you to be able to reach your highest destiny? Not just now, but continually feeding that. And there's a chance that your left brain is already kind of racing to fill in the blanks there. And I would ask you to just kind of ask it to observe for a little bit. And let's let our Hathor helpers work with our hearts to determine what is for our highest and best. And then we'll ask the left brain to be able to discern if that feels in alignment or not, right? Because this is not a logical exercise. This is working with our helpers, our divine helpers, part of that higher self connection to help us reach our highest destiny. Why do we want to reach our highest destiny? Well, because we can help more people that way. Ultimately, that's why we're all here, is to help each other. And so let's do it as fast as possible because let's face it, our world needs a lot of help right now. So we're working with our Hathor helpers, and we are going to be creating our new world in whatever way works for you. Now, you may see it, you may feel it, you may just know it, you may hear it, you may have some grandiose, fabulous ideas that are on a big scale, and you may receive some more chunked down information that is much more specific that you can act on right now. It may be some things that you're going to be meditating on more in the future. And it may be just a sequential linear path that you are following based on, whatever your needs are and wherever you are right now. So just allow it to be what it is for you and open up with all of your senses to allow yourself to receive in the ways that are right for you. It's really quite perfect. And remember, your world is like right here, right now. So it may be today, tomorrow, next week that you're working on, but it might be next month, this whole year, the next 5 years. You will receive the plan that works for you, that gives you what you need right now to help you reach your highest destiny. This is kind of where we've been headed for a long time with these Hathors, and I'm so excited that we're here now because I think all of us are going to be able to feel like we are stepping forward faster and more powerfully than ever before as a result of what we're doing tonight. So thank you for saying yes, and thank you for being here for the very first one in 2021 to help you create a new world for yourself and a new world for all of us. So appreciate you. Okay, so I'm in just a minute, we'll get started. I'll turn off my video. You can turn off yours too. And we'll start from a state of love. We'll invite in our Hathor helpers, and they'll work with us in whatever way is right for us for our creations. So again, just being open with all of your senses to see, sense, feel, know, and experience your new reality. And congratulations for being ready to say yes to it. Okay, I am stopping my video. Yay. I just invite you to get settled where you are, feeling more comfortable, whether you're sitting or lying down. Maybe adjusting your body into a position that you don't mind holding for 15, 20 minutes, maybe even longer. And just allowing your breathing to become slow and rhythmic at that rate that works for you. As you inhale slowly and exhale slowly, bringing your heart rate down slightly and your respiratory rate down slightly, and signaling your body for transformation and change. And kind of getting in touch with that core, your core, especially that channel that runs all the way through your middle, not just your middle section, but through the middle of you. It kind of comes in through the top of your head, and it's like a pipe that just goes all the way down through your body, and all of your chakras are lined up against that pipeline. And just get a sense of that, maybe feeling it, maybe knowing it, maybe sensing it or seeing it or hearing it. This is a very linear core, but it's a very necessary core of who we are. And it carries all the messages of why we're here from all of our life experiences, no matter which lifetime it's been. And I think that everyone here has a little Hathor, like child, if you will, that is polishing your core, which I've never seen this before. I've never felt this before, but that's what it feels and sees. That's what I feel and see. And so just allow that. Um, it's good to get a little cleaning or a deep cleaning every now and then. I think this will help us with our messaging and with our creation a little bit more, kind of like a deep healing. And you may have some sensations as different parts of this pipeline are cleared and cleansed, polished, restored, and renewed. All right, good. Creating kind of an opening, a bigger opening than we normally have in our pipeline to the divine and to our Hathor helpers. And just feeling a state of love and gratitude. You know, they've been so consistently showing up for us, just as we have consistently showed up to receive from them. And just allow yourself to feel gratitude for their help and support, ongoing help and support. Allowing that to just fill your heart space and expand that love and gratitude throughout all parts of your being, your physical body and your energy field. Until you're just completely filled with love and gratitude, and maybe even a little bit of joy in there. There's such joy in the creation process. So when we invite in our Hathor friends who are really already waiting for us, they may be sharing some insights about your personal creation process and what works best for you. So allow that information to come through as well as what you are creating together. As you feel their presence, you feel their loving support. And you allow yourself to receive whatever is for your highest good and healing. Opening up all of your senses to receive exactly what is right for you at this time. Feeling the excitement of creation. And taking a few more minutes to complete your creation for now. And if anyone would care to share your experience, you can unmute or put it in the chat. All right, well, thank you for your creations. Thank you for helping the world to be a better place. Thank you for being on your path to reaching your highest destiny with loving support. We will see you next month around the full moon. Thank you so much. Namaste.